Testing. Testing. Testing.
I'll suck your dick.
No.
Ah.
You're lost. Welcome back to TV Recap. Last time we did Star Trek. We're going to go back and forth. So does Angel Dust. But we're going to be talking...
Oh.
Does he? Or is he just strictly gay? I think he's strictly
I guess
gay.
we'll find out when the show comes out.
Well, when it eventually comes up. So, hi. We're not doing Star Trek, and this isn't CTQ. This is Tori. We haven't seen you on the show for a while, Tori. You're probably wondering why we're not doing Knight Rider.
I want to watch Knight Rider.
Well, too bad. We're watching Hazbin Hotel, and you're probably thinking, that's not a TV show. No, but it will be. Eventually. I was introduced to Hazbin Hotel by CTQ, and I love the pilot. I've seen some of Hell of a Boss. I like Vivzy Pop's art style, and I want to share this majestic piece with Tori.
I mean,
he's seen it
I've
before.
seen it, but
It's been a while.
I've seen this back when it came out. Well, first thing I heard about this was, I mean, if anybody knows a YouTuber named SaberSpark, I've been watching his videos lately, because he does a lot of content with cartoons and as well as YouTubers. So he introduced me to Hazbin Hotel, and I'm like thinking, okay, this art style looks pretty cool. And yeah, so I haven't seen it in a while. So coming back to it, my thoughts may change of it. Maybe they won't.
All right.
Who knows?
Hopefully they will change, because I have been changed for the better, because I now know Hazbin Hotel.
When did you watch this?
Almost during, when the pandemic started.
Okay, yeah, because I remember it came out Halloween, almost of Halloween of 2019. And then now it's being... We'll talk about it. I'll talk about the backstory of it when we get to that, but...
So let's get started. Stay tuned. So that was Hazbin Hotel. Tori, has any of your thoughts changed on Hazbin Hotel?
No. I mean...
Is that bad?
It made me want to take it. Angel does. I mean, I wouldn't mind having some of that.
Alright, because I think Tori and I have slightly different opinions.
Of course, always, yeah, we always have. I mean, it's not Knight Rider.
No, it's not like Knight Rider, but I really do dig Hazbin Hotel. I think we should just give a brief premise of the plot, at least.
I mean, if it doesn't confuse everybody what the plot is.
It's pretty simple.
It's simple, but you have to, understand what the show is going for. Maybe it's best that we start off by talking about who Vivzy Pop is.
Vivzy Pop is... truth be told, I don't know much about her personally, but I know she's an animator. Well, she's basically known for Hazbin Hotel, but she's also known for the series Hell of a Boss, which is a spin-off in the same universe.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of that, but I know one of the voice actors is the guy who does Zim.
Yeah, he's on Hell of a Boss.
So I watched a little bit of that, but I didn't really get into the full web series.
Right.
But then when Hazbin Hotel came out, I could see she has this certain art style and all that, but we'll get into that when we talk about the actual show.
Right.
I think it's cool that YouTubers can now transfer over to medias like television, because I don't know if you know this, but there's a show that's coming out on Adult Swim that I definitely recommend everybody. It's called Smiling Friends.
Oh, yes.
That is getting a show on Adult Swim now.
Which we've made passing in previous videos to Red Letter Media. And Smiling Friends, if you know Red Letter Media, features Mike Stoklasa. Or is it Stoklaska?
Mike Stoklasa, yeah. He plays Desmond. I don't know if he's going to be a recurring character, but...
Probably not, but he was probably the highlight of that. One of the highlights of that, the pilot for that.
I mean, he definitely represents what everybody's going for right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But we won't get into that. But
Hazbin Hotel.
What I'm getting at is, it's interesting that YouTubers like Vivzy Pop, Zach, and Chris, the people who did Smiling Friends, who started off with just animation and now transferring over to television, and having that cult following and having that build-up following is great.
It is.
And I think that's amazing, and props to her, props to everybody who does that. Now, as in terms of my actual criticism...
Wait, let's back up just a little bit. To give a brief summary of what Hazbin Hotel is about. Hazbin Hotel is about Charlie Magne, or Magne?
She's
the daughter of, she's the princess of Hell, daughter of Lucifer, and she's trying to, Hell is basically overpopulated, and they're trying to, she wants to open up this hotel that rehabilitates sinners so that they can go into heaven. The problem is, no one believes in her. Because the only person who believes in her is her girlfriend. And that is actually really cool because there's various different sexualities in the show.
And which is totally cool and fine with modern day, because I feel like there should be a representation of that in cartoons, especially. Because I know there's Steven Universe that talks about like how you could be bisexual and asexual and it doesn't matter what sexuality.
I'm not familiar with Steven Universe, but even I know that they cover stuff like that, which is really good, which a lot of shows don't. But it's really relevant to everything going on in the world.
I think I just like
great.
that. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we'll definitely talk about Angel Dust.
Yeah.
But
Charlie and what's her name? Maggie are lesbians. Angel Dust is gay. Alistair's asexual. I don't know what the frick, because we can't cuss on this show. I don't know what the frick Husk is. But anyway, it's basically no one believes in her except her girlfriend, and they have what is Angel Dust? A sponsor or a client?
I think he was a client.
He's basically.
It was towards the end, like where they started like explaining, tying things up, and being like, okay, this is what the show is gonna be about.
The whole pilot is trying to promote the hotel, and he's like, Angel Dust is kind of like their test subject, basically. I know there's a proper way of saying it, but he's like, he's basically a porn star who they actually call him a porn star. They're like, we have Angel Dust, the porn star? You wouldn't know. Very flamboyant porn star. Or hooker. I think he's both.
Because in the beginning they established the fact that he is a hooker.
Yes.
Or she. I mean,
he is it took me a while to get it because I didn't really get because it's really fast paced.
Yeah, the beginning is very fast considering the fact that it goes from singing, talking about like this is what hell is like and we should change, and then all of a sudden we see Angel Dust coming out of a car. And then all of a sudden,
there's a war.
There's a war.
That's my one criticism is the turf war seems like maybe it'll be expanded upon in the show itself because it did get picked up and we'll go over that also. But the turf war seems unrelated to everything that's going on other than to establish that hell is a bad place. But we don't really need to know that hell's a bad place because we've all grown up knowing that hell's a bad place. Whether you're Catholic, Jewish, Christian, you all know, everyone knows like the phrase "go to hell." That's a negative thing.
Very negative.
So I don't want to be the bad guy because I know that Hazbin Hotel has a big following. I'm a follower, but that is one of my criticisms.
I mean, look at your TikTok. There's all the.
Yes, I cosplay as Alistair. Let's go back into the plot for a second. No one believes in Charlie's idea, except for kind of this radio demon guy called Alistair, and who is a demon lord of hell, I believe. Or I think he's a demon lord.
I think he's like a demon radio lord.
Yeah, the radio demon.
Radio demon.
And the real reason he's helping is because he doesn't believe that a sinner can go to heaven, but he thinks it would be funny to watch someone try and fail. So that's why he's helping.
Well, then he ends up like being a sponsor and like actually helps build this hotel up from the ground.
Which goes from the Happy Hotel to the Hazbin Hotel, and this guy is having so much fun with this. Like he's a 1920s style radio host with this type of staff or microphone, and it's just fantastic. Like I haven't been that entertained since the stock market crashed in 1925. Haha, so many orphans.
He pretty much is just like, we're gonna have to go to the toy store. It's like it has like that kind of like radio tone, like you said, the 1920s radio. Maybe even the Orson Welles.
Yeah, I can see a little bit. I can see a little bit of Orson Welles in him if Orson Welles was hopped up on sugar.
That's pretty much.
Orson Welles was hopped up on something.
I mean, he was. We won't go into that, but anyways.
But yeah, so it ends with him setting up the hotel. We meet Husk. We meet I always forget this character. because she doesn't really do Mimsy.
The
Cyclops girl, who's like I guess the maid now, because she's like cleaning up everything, and
that
she has
maid is a minion.
Yeah,
it's a minion.
It looks like a minion, but we meet Husk, which has one of my favorite lines. You think I'm some effing clown? Blink, maybe. I think that's just priceless. And there's a great musical number, which I think there's a few musical numbers that are really good. Well, they're okay.
I'll explain.
But the Alistair musical, the Alistair reprise is priceless, and I'm actually trying to recreate or do an adaptation of that. But it kind of ends with that turf war thing again briefly, but thankfully it's cut short by Alistair, who's like, we don't have time for this BS. So, and it's done in such a violent way, and he has this sickening grin where everyone looks shocked, and there's a long silence, he's like, well, I'm starved, I want some jambalaya. And that's kind of like their equivalent to shawarma, basically, and then he changes the hotel from Happy Hotel to Hazbin Hotel, and it ends cryptically on him saying, stay tuned. And that's the show, basically.
That's pretty much the pilot.
But now, Tori, why do you hate Hazbin Hotel?
I'm good.
No pressure.
No pressure? Okay,
it's not like you're going to hell.
I can. I can with the fandom. They'll probably kill me after this, but
no judgment.
Here's the thing. When I first watch it, when I first saw this back when it came out in 2019, I thought, cool. I mean, good for her. I mean, this shit, it's tough to do fucking animation.
Yeah.
And especially for like something that's like at this
friends.
level,
Yeah.
where you try to have like a certain style, a certain like influence, which I pretty much can see like some Tim Burton-esque influence with this. But
okay.
There are some things.
Do you want to take the mic to talk?
No, I don't need the mic because I can talk pretty loud. Watching this again made me realize that, animation is a bitch and a half because some of it just does not hold up.
There are some animation errors that I won't deny. There are some. I even went back and watched the music video Addict. I won't deny that I'm not an expert at it. I have a friend who studies it, and they talk about how difficult it is.
It's incredibly difficult. I try. It's tough.
And there's occasional errors you'll spot. I don't want to nitpick. That's Tori's job. But no, go ahead.
Well, no, I wouldn't nitpick.
Yeah, he's not gonna nitpick.
I would say like some of the animation, I'm pretty sure when it gets picked up and it's like up and running, I'm sure the animation is gonna be very fluent.
Yeah.
But with what it is now, it's obvious that it's very rough. It's very choppy. I would say there's a lot of choppiness as in terms like some of the cuts are just like all over the place. But I mean, don't get me wrong, the voice acting is great. I think they're pretty hilarious and spot on, especially Angel Dust and Alistair, definitely. I know you fucking love.
I love Alistair.
Yeah, but
like, and what can you do, my fine fellow? I can suck your dick. No.
See, some of those comedy moments kind of work. I feel like this could be more of like an adult version of My Little Pony.
Okay.
Because this is what I see. The animation looks clean enough to be looking like that.
And I'll have to take your word for it because and this is not meant to be an insult, you know about My Little Pony more than I do.
I don't know My Little Pony. I live with a roommate or a girlfriend / also brother who kind of fucking threw me under the bus with My Little Pony. But those two, my girlfriend and Hunter, they kind of showed me My Little Pony in a way where I can understand the fandom and all that. But watching a couple of episodes, it kind of reminds me of this, where we'll get into the songs, but like some of the songs are very much like that, but for more adult themes.
Okay.
This is definitely adult. And don't show this to your fucking kids.
Don't.
This is not a kid's show.
My mom walked in thinking, why are the cartoons cussing? Welcome
to 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could high five. But for the most part, okay, my thoughts haven't changed on it. It's good. It's a good pilot. The music's,
why don't you go into the music?
It's very heavily influenced by My Little Pony.
And again, I'll have to take
and Disney. princess songs.
I think in some ways it's spoofing. I think it is spoofing the Disney princess genre.
I mean, but if you're gonna start spoofing things, I mean, Disney already did that
with Enchanted.
No, they did a spoof song in Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Oh yeah, that.
Where Penelope talks about like, oh yeah, I don't want to be a princess, but I want to be this, that, and this, the.
My argument, I know you and I disagree on this part, but my argument is that it is. Maybe we disagree with the execution, but I think it is going full on spoof because you have things like F Heaven in the background while she's singing I'm Chasing Rainbows. And you have all this carnage and people getting eaten and people dying. So I see the satire in it, but you think it should have gone further with the satire.
I mean, if you're already going deep into the satire, might as well just jump right into that pool. Because if you're going in like feet first, or if you're like literally like you have your toes in this water, I'm sorry with these like fucking metaphors, but if you're going in with your feet in the water already, might as well just fucking head dive. I'm pretty sure, again, this is a pilot. It's gonna be probably deep more into the show, which do you want to talk about the show now?
Okay.
Like the actual distribution.
Yeah, let's talk about that. It's been, you said that, I actually forgot, it was 2019 when this show came out originally?
This came out almost on Halloween of 2019.
And it was a great timing for it to be released on Halloween, and it was a treat for me to see this during the pandemic, because I was going, as a lot of you guys know, I was going through, I have no shame in admitting it, I was going through depression, as a lot of people were during the pandemic, and this was...
I was too.
So yeah, and you probably noticed a lot of us, some YouTubers like ourselves actually posted less and less content, but for me, one of the things that made me want to get back into content was Hazbin, because I was so impressed with what Vivzy Pop created, and even though it took me a while to get back into making content, this was slightly an inspiration to come back, even if it was slower. That being said, we haven't really gotten much information as to when Hazbin will show up. There have been podcasts that mention, like they show that they're working on it.
Well,
the cast will talk about it, but you go ahead.
They've talked about it, yeah, but there is a distribution company that picked it up, which I was kind of shocked by this. A24. If no one knows A24, let me give you a rundown, because I actually watch a lot of these A24 films. It's very, very indie art house films, such as The Lighthouse, Uncut Gems, 8th Grade, fucking Midsommar, Hereditary. It's just this big distribution company that I would love to work with, but they mostly establish on just a lot of indie films, as well as as well as TV shows, such as Euphoria, which is really fucking big on HBO. I have not seen it, but I've heard amazing things about it, so I might get into it later. I think they're dabbling more into television now.
Right. And
so they picked up Hazbin Hotel. From that point on, we don't know much about that, but I think with that, that's very, going back to the whole thing with Adult Swim and Smiling Friends, which was very interesting to see how a YouTuber could go from being in a web series to TV.
Right.
And make that transition. And I think that's great. I feel like there's going to be some problems with switching over, because obviously...
You have executives saying you can't do this.
I mean, look at how Adventure Time was. Adventure Time was a short, and it had an Abraham Lincoln, and it was on Nickelodeon, and then they said, and then Cartoon Network picked it up. But there's a lot of things that could go wrong, and there's a lot of things that can go right. And with A24, I feel like they're in good hands. Vivzy Pop. Vivzy Pop. I know that it's
okay.
a weird way.
It's an interesting name, but it took me a while to get used to it too.
I feel like she's in good hands with A24, and I know they're not gonna because A24 is known for just, this is your art, do whatever you want.
Right.
And I mean, some of the shit from A24, I mean, we're not gonna fucking discuss.
Hereditary, for example.
Well,
we won't discuss that, but...
Hereditary is its own little thing.
But I'm saying that they allow that to happen.
Well, you haven't seen any of the other shit.
Oh, like The Lighthouse?
No.
Or the worse?
Midsommar.
Oh.
they're allowed to be artistic.
And you covered these, right, on your channel?
I've only covered Lighthouse a little bit. I don't remember the other A24 films. Because there's also Uncut Gems. There's also Good Times. I would love to cover a whole A24 spectrum, but that requires me to watch all of
their weird.
Well, I've seen most of their weird shit. So I mean, I forgot to even mention Under the Skin, which is Scarlett Johansson. That movie is insane. But yeah, again, good hands. A24 knows what they're doing. She knows what she's doing, and I feel like they're gonna give her full control.
I certainly hope so, because I'm really impressed with it. I don't really have any other criticisms with the show other than just the turf war, really. I thought that was the thing that felt the most out of place.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, at the end, they just like...
But at the end, they're like, let's forget about that.
Yeah.
And I hope that we forget it, or maybe expand upon it. It's like, maybe there was a reason that was brought up, maybe give some explanation. But I like the side characters. I liked Cherry Bomb. I liked Katie Killjoy. Tori probably doesn't remember half these names after watching.
I don't remember half of them, but I just remember their faces. I think the news, Katie Killjoy,
the anchor Bob Trench or something something.
Tom Trench.
Tom Trench, yes.
Where he has like a gas mask on, and again, these designs are cool. I'm totally fine with these designs.
I will say they could easily be Burton-esque inspired, but I think she also puts them in a way to make them unique to her style.
Well,
like they remind me.
She has her own creative process.
Yeah.
But I feel like she would be like, oh yeah, Tim Burton
was an inspiration.
It was an inspiration for her.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I think.
But I don't know. Hey,
Vibsy Pop.
Yeah, Vibsy Pop.
Sorry that Tori keeps mispronouncing your name.
Let's go on a podcast. Let's talk. I do a chat.
Oh, that would actually be really cool. If she would be down. I would have to figure out how to set up a podcast, but that would be cool.
Well, not set up a podcast, just set up a Zoom meeting.
Oh, that would be cool.
Or just like, that'd be cool just to have interesting talk with her.
Vibsy Pop, I'm a big fan of the Hazbin Hotel.
I'm pretty sure she's got so many.
I did leave a comment once because my sister's hard of hearing, and I left a comment asking if there was a subtitle. And then someone, I forgot who it was, someone pointed out that there's a script, and so my sister was able to view it. So I don't know if she put out the script or someone else, but whoever it was, thank you for putting out the script so that my sister could both see and understand what was going on in the show. But I don't think there's really anything else to say. I recommend Hazbin Hotel. Of course, you have to be over 18 years old to watch it. Would you recommend Hazbin Hotel?
Sure. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that in like a bad way. I'm just saying, sure. I mean, this is definitely... I mean,
it's a really interesting experiment to see, like you said, someone make the transition from a webcomic to TV.
Yeah, it's an interesting look. It's another one of those looks of just like, because again, I can talk about Smiling Friends. Chris and Zach, or I don't even think it is Chris and Zach that did Smiling Friends. I know Zach did, but they did a show called Hellbenders, like a web series on there. There's only like 3 episodes or 3 little things. It got on Adult Swim. Well, not got on. They were talking about it, and then they said like, well, we want the full rights, and they said no. So they haven't done anything with that. I think it's another cool example. Hazbin Hotel is a cool example of like, how could someone from YouTube make the transition to television? And I would like to see more of that, because I want to see. I really don't think this will happen, but I want to see "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared" on television, because it is a great commentary on like children's television, where it's like being creative. Like the first episode, it's like, oh, you gotta be creative. I mean, now I'm getting fucking sidetracked. But again, regardless, television executives should actually look at people from YouTube and pick it up. Don't get people like fucking Logan Paul and their show, but get people like artists like Vizzy Pop, Psycho Pebbles. I don't know.
Logan Paul, he said it. Don't come after me.
Fuck you, Logan Paul. There's another one. The guy who did Salad Fingers, I forget.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he got picked up, didn't he?
Well, he's a film director, I think. He works with Flying Lotus. Yeah, I mean, I have nothing more to say. I mean, I could go on a tangent about, like... The thing is, with this type of show, I could just dig myself a rabbit hole. I'm just like, oh, this goes into, like, the context of TV shows. Oh, but it's also this and that and this and that.
It's really interesting, though.
Yeah.
Because I forgot about Smiling, for instance, so it's a good thing to bring up.
Yeah, because Hazbin Hotel was first, and then Smiling Friends came out last year.
And it's a good and fair comparison in a way because they're different shows.
Two completely different shows,
but they have the same kind of origin to them.
Mm.
But yeah, thank you for joining me, Tori, on whatever this show is, TV Recap.
This is TV Recap?
This is TV Recap.
This is called TV Recap? I thought we were watching Knight Rider.
No, yeah, this is TV Recap. Maybe this is like TV Web Recap. I don't know. Web Recap. Web Recap. I'll take that. But yeah, Vivzy Pop, if you're watching this, I look forward to Hazbin Hotel. I'm digging Hell of a Boss. Keep up the good work. And if you want to see more of Tori's stuff, I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below for TAGMovieReviews. Thank you for joining us. And as Alistair says, stay tuned.
To what?